What's up, everybody? I'm Eric Waltzman, and I'm going to show you how to tell every single dollar where to go before the month even starts, and it's going to take you less time than watching a sitcom. Most people think budgeting means restricting yourself or tracking every coffee for hours, but zero-based budgeting is different because you're giving yourself permission to spend everything you make. You just decide the plan first. Quick heads up, this is for educational purposes only and not financial advice. Here's why this matters right now. A 2023 survey by Bankrate found that only 32% of Americans use a detailed budget. But get this, people who budget are twice as likely to say they feel in control of their money and are significantly less stressed about finances. When I was drowning in $40,000 of debt on a completely average salary, I tried app after app and spreadsheet after spreadsheet, but nothing stuck until I discovered zero-based budgeting. The genius is in the name. You budget until you hit zero, meaning every dollar of income minus every dollar of expense equals zero. You're not leaving money unassigned, hoping it works out. You're the boss of your paycheck. This method forces intentionality without the shame spiral of traditional budgeting, and once you set it up, it takes maybe 20 minutes a month to maintain. Let me walk you through exactly how to do this today. Point one, start by writing down your total monthly take-home income, and I mean actually take home, not your salary before taxes. This is the number that hits your bank account after federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, health insurance premiums, 401k contributions, all of it. If you're salaried, this is easy. Just look at your last pay stub and multiply by how many paychecks you get per month. If your income varies because you're hourly, freelance, or work on commission, take your lowest month from the past 6 months and use that as your baseline. Why the lowest? Because it's better to budget conservatively and have extra money than to budget optimistically and come up short. Write this number at the top of a blank page or spreadsheet. This is your starting point. A zero-based budget is just math. Income minus expenses equals zero, so you need to know exactly what you're working with. If you get paid twice a month, you can either combine both checks and budget the full month, or budget each paycheck separately, whatever feels more manageable. I prefer the full month view because some bills are monthly anyway, but do what clicks for your brain. Point two, list every single expense you have in a month, and I mean every single one, fixed and variable. Start with your four walls. That's food, shelter, transportation, and utilities, because these keep you alive and get you to work. Rent or mortgage, electricity, water, gas, internet, phone, car payment, car insurance, gas for your car, groceries. Write down the actual amount for each, and then list everything else: streaming services, student loan payments, credit card minimums, gym membership, subscriptions you forgot about, eating out, entertainment, clothing, haircuts, pet costs if you have them. Go through your bank statements from the last 2 months and highlight every recurring charge and every category where you spent money. This part might take 15 minutes, but it's the most important 15 minutes because you can't budget for what you don't acknowledge. When I did this the first time, I found I was spending $87 a month on subscriptions I barely used. That's over $1,000 a year just evaporating. If you're not sure what you spend in variable categories like groceries or gas, overestimate for now, you'll adjust next month. Here's where zero-based budgeting saved me in a real moment. In March of 2019, my car needed an emergency $1,200 repair, and because I'd been budgeting this way for only 3 months, I had exactly $340 in my car sinking fund. Old me would have panicked and thrown it on a credit card, adding to my debt pile. Instead, I used the $340, cut my food budget by $60 for that month, and the next, paused 2 subscriptions for $28, pulled $40 from my fund money, and delayed 1 extra debt payment of $200 for 30 days. I covered it without new debt because the zero-based system showed me exactly where every dollar was and what I could shift. That moment proved the method works under pressure, not just on paper. Point 3, assign every dollar a job until your income minus all your expenses equals exactly zero. Take that take-home income number from step 1 and start subtracting each expense. Cover your 4 walls first, then debt payments, then savings goals, then everything else. If you have money left over after listing all your expenses, don't just leave it as leftover. That's not zero-based. Assign it somewhere intentional: extra debt payment, emergency fund, sinking fund for car repairs, investment account, fund money, whatever aligns with your priorities. If your expenses add up to more than your income, you've got two options: cut expenses or increase income. And in the short term, cutting is faster. Look at your list and ask, what can I reduce or eliminate right now? Maybe you pause the gym and work out at home for 2 months. Maybe you cut streaming services down to 1. Maybe you meal prep instead of eating out. The magic of zero-based budgeting is it removes the guilt, because if you budget $50 for fun money and you spend it on coffee or a concert, that's not cheating, that's following the plan. Point 4, set up sinking funds for expenses that don't happen every month, but will definitely happen. This is the step that changed everything for me. Car insurance due every 6 months. It's not a surprise. That's a bill is coming. Christmas, birthdays, annual subscriptions, car registration, vet bills, oil changes. These are not emergencies. They're just irregular. Take the total annual cost, divide by 12, and budget that amount every single month into a sinking fund. For example, if car insurance is $600 twice a year, that's $1,200 annually. Divide by 12, budget $100 a month. When the bill comes, the money is already there and you don't panic or swipe a credit card. I keep sinking funds in a separate high-yield savings account and track each category in a simple spreadsheet. The first month, you'll be building these funds from scratch, so you might not have the full amount saved yet. That's okay. Start now, and by month 6 or 12, you'll be fully funded, and those irregular expenses will never stress you out again. Here's a hot take that goes against most advice you'll hear. I think emergency funds are overrated until you fix your monthly budget first. Dave Ramsey and most financial gurus will tell you to save $1,000 before you do anything else, but a 2022 study by the JP Morgan Chase Institute found that the median household checking account balance swings by 50% month to month. If your budget leaks because you don't have a plan, that emergency fund will just become a slush fund you dip into for non-emergencies. I've seen it a dozen times. Get your zero-based budget running for 2 months so you actually know where your money goes. Then build your emergency fund on a foundation that doesn't have cracks. You'll save faster and it'll actually stay saved. Point 5, review and adjust your zero-based budget every single month because your life isn't static. This is not a set it and forget it thing. It's a living document. At the end of each month or a few days before your next paycheck, sit down for 10 to 20 minutes and look at what actually happened versus what you planned. Did you overspend in one category? Underspend in another? Did an unexpected expense come up? Adjust next month's budget based on reality. If you budgeted $150 for groceries but actually spent $200, either find a way to cut grocery costs next month or reduce a different category to make room. Zero-based budgeting is flexible. It just requires honesty. Also, life changes. Maybe you get a raise, maybe your rent goes up, maybe you pay off a credit card. Update your budget to reflect it. I review mine on the last Sunday of every month, and it takes about 15 minutes now that I have a template. After 3 months of zero-based budgeting, you'll know your spending patterns better than ever. After 6 months, it'll feel like autopilot, and after a year, you'll wonder how you ever manage money any other way. This is the system that helped me pay off $40,000, not because it's magic, but because it made me intentional with every dollar. So here's the bottom line. Zero-based budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about intention and control. You assign every dollar a job, you plan for the irregular stuff, and you adjust as you go. It takes less than 30 minutes to set up and maybe 20 minutes a month to maintain, but the clarity and confidence it gives you is worth way more than the time invested. I want to hear from you. What's the biggest budgeting mistake you've made? Or what's the one expense you keep forgetting to plan for? Drop it in the comments because I read every single one. If this was helpful, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video where I'm breaking down exactly how to build a $1,000 emergency fund in 90 days. Even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you've got this. Let's keep building.